the moment when the Golden State Warriors found their new star. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors have suspended Draymond Green indefinitely, and this has led to some of their younger guys in their rosters to step up, and they have absolutely been bowling out, helping the Golden State Warriors get back into the playoff picture. In today's video, we're going to be going through the 5 young stars that are up and coming and that have helped not only the Golden State Warriors get this far, but are also going to help them in the championship time. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world if you could subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first player is none other than Brandin Podziemski. And as you all know, Podziemski is a fantastic player, but he has definitely started to show his strides as he has been getting a lot more minutes ever since Draymond Green has gone down. Now, Brandin Podziemski has been actually put in a position where he is playing sometimes small forward and even at times power forward, but he can definitely handle his own. Podziemski stands at 6'5", 205 pounds, and is only 20 years of age. And so far this season, he is averaging 8.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, that may not sound like such MVP type numbers, but if you look at over the last 5 games, he has put on such great performances, not only just in the points department, but every department of assists, rebounds, and even sometimes steals. Now, if we look at some of his top games, he had a game against the Denver Nuggets where he had 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and also 5 steals. Now, they did actually end up losing that game, but I think he definitely showed a lot of promise, where he actually had a game score of 20 while also shooting 75% from the 3 and 58% from the field. Now, Brandin Podziemski is a fantastic scorer, do not get me wrong, but where I do believe he is such a huge asset is definitely on the defensive side of things and the intangible things that he does as well. You definitely want this from your role players because, as you all know, Steph Curry is going to be the main scorer for this team. He definitely showed why he deserves a bigger role on this team as time goes on, and with that performance, he definitely showed out and showed his best. If we look at the game even before that against the Portland Trailblazers, he had himself a double-double of 15 points and 10 rebounds while also dishing out 7 assists. So he does a little bit of everything out there, which I absolutely love about Podziemski's game. Now, when it comes to his defensive abilities, yes, it may not show up in the stat sheet, but his contest, his ability to switch on different guys, whether it's a point guard all the way to a center, he does a fantastic job at playing great defense. And I think this is something that has definitely been missing over the last couple of seasons for the Golden State Warriors, and now they have found it in Podziemski for sure. Now, when they did get Gary Payton II back, they still did end up losing other players like Otto Porter or Juan Toscano Anderson. I think Brandin this year has definitely showed he is a great replacement for them in order for them to make it further in the playoffs and hopefully win another NBA championship. Now, the fact that he is only 20 years of old is definitely showing a lot of great signs that he does have a bright future ahead, but the fact that he is able to learn and really adapt quickly to the NBA, especially since this is his rookie season, he has done a fantastic job and shows a lot of maturity when it comes to his game and also to his teammates. The second player is none other than Trayce Jackson-Davis. Now, TJD has probably been one of the biggest assets so far ever since Draymond Green got down, because as you all know, with Draymond Green down, they are down one power forward, and Trayce Jackson-Davis has definitely filled that position. He stands at 6'9", 245 pounds, and is only 23 years old. But what I love most about his game is definitely his aggression out there on the floor. Now, we look at some of his most recent games where he did get a good and significant amount of minutes. He had a game against Washington over the last 5 days where he actually had 15 rebounds in that matchup and also had 10 points. On top of that, he also shot 71% from the field, which I think is fantastic. And if you look at his averages over the last game, he's actually shooting a total of 75% from the field on average. So I think he has done a fantastic job ever since Draymond Green went down. We have seen Trayce Jackson-Davis definitely step up in a massive way. What I love about his game definitely is his scoring ability. Due to the fact that Draymond wasn't really a scorer, I definitely do believe what Warriors were missing, and one of the reasons why they were on such a bit of a cold streak, was due to the fact that there weren't enough scoring big men in their lineup. And I think adding someone like Trayce Jackson-Davis has definitely showed that. In the last 5 games, if you look at the averages, he's actually averaging around 11 points per game, which I think is great over the last 5, and his game score has stayed almost above 10 in all 5 games. So he has done a fantastic job. His rebounding ability is second to none, and the efficiency that he is shooting from the field is definitely another telltale sign that he is going to be an absolute star one day. I think a great thing about him as well is that he is 6'9". He does add a lot of light to this lineup, which I think is going to be a huge asset for the Golden State Warriors, especially when they start facing off against bigger teams. Even Steve Kerr said himself that even if Draymond Green does get back, we think Brandin Podziemski and also Trayce Jackson-Davis are definitely going to see a good amount of minutes moving forward, because guys, as you all know, at the start of the season they were pretty much getting less than 5 minutes per game. So the fact that they have been able to really push him up and push them into somewhat of a role-playing role, or even sometimes in the starting lineup, I believe has been absolutely beneficial to their development, but also sets them up for a great future, especially when it comes playoff and championship time. The third player is none other than Jonathan Kuminga. Now, as you all know, Kaminga has been rumored to be one of the best up-and-coming stars for this Golden State Warriors team, and he is starting to slowly show that he is capable of being a great player. Now, as you all know, Kaminga stands at 6'8", 210 pounds, and he has taken a bigger role for this team ever since Draymond Green has been out for some time now, and he's definitely shown that over the last couple of games, but has also done a fantastic job at being much more of a leader for this team, even at such a young age. Like I mentioned before, he is only 21 years old, but if we look at his averages over the last 5 games, he's done a fantastic job, almost averaging around 14 points per game. Now, if we look at his averages for the season, he's averaging 12.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. So he has done a fantastic job, but if we always look at the last 5 games, he's had such great games, especially one against Washington Wizards recently, where he actually had 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, while also shooting 82% from the field. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 82% from the field. That is honestly some NBA 2K type numbers, and that is insane to see just how much he has grown over the last couple of years. I think he is a fantastic player, and what I love most about his game is definitely his ability to really become better on offense as time goes on. Now, as you all know, Kaminga is more of a defender, but he has definitely found his way when it comes to actually playing better offense, and especially doing it in an efficient way. If we look at his assist and rebound numbers, he's definitely kept him very good when it comes to taking much more of a bigger role, but where I see his huge increase and usage rate increase is definitely in those points department. Now, although Jonathan Kaminga stands at 6'8", what I love about his game, and what you do notice, especially over the last couple of games as well, is you definitely see him being able to switch on guards really easily and still being able to play really good defense. I think there's something about Kaminga's game that is definitely underrated. His ability to pretty much guard 1 through 5 is actually super well for what the Warriors are trying to build, and it really does make their small ball a lot easier. Having someone like Kaminga, who is quick like a guard but still has the strength and ability to guard big men, honestly makes him very versatile, especially on the offensive side of things. Kaminga can definitely space out the floor a lot more, as he does have a pretty decent 3-point shot, but I do believe that is a part of his game he can definitely work on as time goes on. But when it comes to Kaminga, he is starting to show the right strides in the right direction, and this is definitely where they are heading in the future. I think Kaminga is going to have a great future ahead, but I do believe they are going to need him in the playoff and championship time if it comes to that, due to the fact that Kaminga is going to have a bigger role, as Draymond may be too small in certain occasions since he is only 6'6", or if they need another scorer out there, Kaminga definitely needs to step up to the plate. The fourth player is none other than Moses Moody. Now, as you all know, Moses Moody has been on a little bit of the shadow due to the fact that Trayce Jackson-Davis, Brandin Podziemski, and also Jonathan Kaminga have definitely been showing out. But Moses Moody has definitely become a great player, and has definitely become a solid role player for what the Warriors definitely need. Now, as you all know, Moody stands at 6'6", 205 pounds, and is still only 21 years of age, but he's done a fantastic job for the Golden State Warriors, because he's been averaging 8.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. Now, when it comes to his minutes, he has seen roughly the same amount of minutes as he does see when Draymond Green was in the team, or when was playing, and because of that, we definitely see not only just Moody improving or anything of that nature, but he is playing very consistently, which is what we like to see. He's averaging around 15 minutes, and if you look at his average over the last 5 games, it hasn't changed, staying at around the 16-minute mark as well, but he's put up some pretty good performances where he had one game where he had 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and also 1 steal, and also 1 block. So he was able to get a stat on every single stat sheet, and I do believe that when it comes to Moody, yes, he may not show a lot of stats, but when it comes to his ability out there to really change the game, his intangible things that he does do on the floor definitely doesn't go unnoticed. I do believe he's probably the most underrated player in this team so far. Now, when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, yes, Brandin Podziemski and Trayce Jackson-Davis did see a huge increase in their minutes, but the fact that Moody all this time has been able to play consistently, I think is probably the best thing about what the Warriors have when it comes to Moody as a player. He isn't getting jealous of the minutes these other players are getting. He's doing his role and doing his role very efficiently. And I think that is something that is definitely not unnoticed. I do believe when it comes to Moody, his time will definitely come, but I think when it comes to his defensive ability, it's definitely going to be needed in the playoffs and finals, as like the saying goes, guys, defense wins championships. Now, when it comes to some honorable mentions, I do have to mention players like Guy Santos and Lester Quinones, who haven't really seen a huge increase in the minutes. Sometimes, you know, when it comes to their two-way contracts, it doesn't really go noticed where they are playing a significant amount, but I do believe their time will come, and I think that when it comes to what they are capable of doing, once they do get a little bit of leeway to actually get a couple of minutes on the floor, they can definitely show a lot of telltale signs. But the future is looking bright for the Golden State Warriors, and when it comes to whether Draymond Green, him being out, has actually benefited the Warriors, that is a question I want you guys to answer. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.